So, hi, thanks for everyone for coming down.
Hello, we're Peachy and King. Hello, you can squash in
sorry.
if you want. There's not much room. You're welcome
come and
to
sit
sit
down
on the
here.
floor.
Yeah.
No, we're just beginning now.
Oh.
Oh god.
Yeah, so just saying hello, thank you for coming. It's really great to see a room full of people. We're Peachy and King.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Rhiannon.
I'm Eleni. So Peachy and King is basically a female collective, a platform for emerging artists, photographers, all kind of artists, and we blog, write, interview, do features on people, and our biggest thing is exhibition.
Yeah. So Tom, who runs Young Shop, you probably know, he invited us down here to curate the ladies' cloakroom up here today. So that's why we're here. Yeah, so it's been really, really fun this weekend, and so I hope you will get to go and see the show.
Yeah, there's lots of really good stuff going on next door as well. Got a really good group of people there, and also you've got Half Day No Pit. So we're going to talk to you today about where we came from, why we started, how we started, and what we plan to do next. So I will start by explaining where and why we started. We both did a photography foundation in Brighton, which is where we met, and sort of in the photography lessons I felt very like all the people that were being shown to us by our teachers and stuff, like everyone seemed to be a male photographer, and I felt that the industry historically and still to some extent now is very, very male dominated, and I sort of got a little bit annoyed with it. I was like, do you know what, it's so difficult for young artists to have a platform to get their work out there. So I said, do you know what, I want to do something just for girls, and I said this to Rhiannon, and she was like, I absolutely agree with you, let's just do it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do an exhibition. That was our first big idea. So we want to do an exhibition that's sort of got something in it for everyone, that's sort of really cheaply done in the same style of Photocopy Club, which we'll talk about later. But to do that, we needed to create some kind of presence online. Even though our focus was exhibition and print, we still needed to get ourselves out there online, so we started this blog. I think, yeah, you can kind of see in the slide. It amazingly sort of, we weren't expecting it. It lifted up really quickly. We had so many followers, so many people actually getting in contact with us and telling us like, this is amazing, like so glad you've done this, like thank you, I've been looking for a place like this to submit my work to and all this. And we basically just would go around the blogs and go to the internet and reblog things that we liked, or we would go to people's work and actually select stuff that we liked specifically and put it on the blog. Once we'd been up for about a month, we then said, right, I think we've got enough of a sort of little database of people following us that we can now make an exhibition successfully that people will actually come to. So we did it. The next one.
Yeah.
This is some of the images from
our first exhibition.
Yeah.
So the first exhibition we did in Brighton, so that's where we're both from. And it was really important for us to have both new, really unknown artists alongside some more well-known artists. So we had people like El Hardwick alongside like Francesca
Allen, yeah.
Yeah, and some people like that. But yeah, so exhibitions have always been our most important thing that we've been going on. And yeah, as you said, we've had the blog that's been kind of underlying that, which has been really, really great. So after the first exhibition, we had really, really great turnout. It was really, really fun. We had made it like a party. We had cakes and
yeah, we wanted it to be a completely different experience to most other exhibitions that you go to. Any experience that we'd had from exhibitions had been like a really sort of quiet room and everyone's not really allowed to talk and you can't really like touch the work. Just not inviting. It felt pretentious as soon as you went in, so we just wanted something that was really open, really fun, like if you don't like it, you don't like it, if you do, you do. People were sort of talking about the work a lot because it was a loud environment, you didn't feel it had to be quiet. Also, what was really great, because we had the blog and because we invited a lot of people to show their work, a lot of the artists were actually at the show And so people were actually able to go and speak to the artist. If like someone would come up to me and say, oh, this is really beautiful work, who did that? And I say, oh, Francesca did it, she's actually over there if you want to go chat to her. So it's a really good interactive environment, and then we just sort of were like, this is it, this is what we want to do, this is where we're going to go from now.
Yeah, and so after the success of our first show, we thought it was really, really important that we needed to develop our online platform.
Identity.
Yeah, our online identity. Because the blog was really, really great, but we want to be churning out more information for people.
It's definitely limited.
Yeah, there's like, if we just do exhibitions, we can only do them from once in a while. Eleanor's working full time, I'm at university, so we wanted to do something that we could keep people interested, keep bringing people like more stuff from people, artists. And so what we did was we started our website, which you can again kind of see. So what we have on our website, we've got about 5 writers for us now, and we do interviews with artists, we do features of people, we have online editorials, we do about fashion, we do music, basically anything that we think that will be really relevant to like people who like Peachy and
Yeah. And people also still submit their work to us, so they'll send us emails with their links and stuff and say, what do you think about this? And if we like it, we'll do a feature on it and we'll put it up and we'll write about them and get to know people in that way, which is really cool. And that's a really good upside of the internet.
Yeah, well, with the website, it means that we can have access to people from all around the world. Like, even in this room, we've got people. So that's Dina. She's from Moscow and Berlin. We've got people from France, all over America, like Wisconsin, Italy, Cincinnati, like everywhere.
And that's just in this room.
And that's just in this room. And I mean, on the website, we have stuff from all over the world, and that's something that's really important to us about the internet. Without the blog, we wouldn't have been able to make it. But without the internet, we wouldn't have been able to make such like a global thing. And
somewhere that it's not just focused on, oh, if you're going to make it, you've got to be London, New York, Paris, whatever. It's, you can be from anywhere, and you can still have a chance of getting your work seen.
Yeah, and that was something really, really important to us. So that's why having this website is really, really great. And so we said we do lots of artists. This girl is Lauren Withrow. I don't know if any of you have heard. She's an amazing artist. She's from Texas, Austin, Texas. So without the internet, we wouldn't have been able to show her work. She was in our first show. Yeah, she was on our first show in Brighton, and that was really, really great. And so without the internet, we wouldn't have been able to have what we have today. So we've got next. Yeah, so this is our
second exhibition. With the help of the internet and our blog and our website, we managed to reach to many more people. So this is our second exhibition. As you can see, it was absolutely packed. We're absolutely amazed by how many people came. We just were like, oh, wow, we didn't really realise that many people followed us or that cared or whatever. And we had all these people come. It was absolutely amazing, a really, really good turnout. This was the first exhibition that we did where we set a theme for the exhibition. The theme was Mother. And we had a mixture of photography, illustration. As you can see, we've got some drawing up here. We also had people sending us print work. So we had a more broad variety of work rather than just photography.
And that's what's great about yeah, definitely. But I think what's something really great about the show is that because we were able to have this offline as well, we were able to see like the presence that we have online. And I mean, it's really difficult when you're sat behind a screen and you have no idea who's looking at your work. You don't know how many people are seeing, clicking on our website sometimes, and you don't know how many people are actually really interested in this. And I think that having this offline presence as well is so important, that we actually get to interact with people who really like what we're doing. And I mean, even last night we were able to talk to people and now about what we're doing, what we want to do, and what people think of that. And without having that offline thing, we wouldn't be able to improve ourselves. We wouldn't be able to make things even better for what people want.
Exactly, and that's the second thing I want to talk about, is the importance of exhibition. Nowadays, the photography industry and the art industry itself is completely saturated with images that we see on the internet and on the screen every single day. It's very difficult to see something that really pops out to you, that really resonates with you, and you think, wow, I really want to see that again. Or remembering names, and everything just seems to blur into one with the way we look at photographic world now. And this is why we feel so strongly about exhibition. It's such a different experience to look at something on a wall and be able to look at it for a long time and actually feel a reaction from it, whether it's good or bad. Coming to exhibitions is amazing. You get to, in some cases, speak to the artists, and you get to speak to the people who put the exhibitions on, and that's why the exhibition side of things and the print side of things is so important. Having something physical and tangible to look at just, I think, gives photography and art a far bigger presence and place in our generation.
I think what inspired us mainly to do the exhibitions was a collective called Photocopy Club. I don't know whether you've heard of it. It's run by a guy called Matt Martin, and he does these really great exhibitions where people send in photocopies of their work. And again, he gets responses from all around the world. I mean, we were working with him when he was doing some of this stuff, and you'd be getting stuff from like Israel, like South America, Asia. Absolutely incredible.
Like everywhere,
yeah.
Absolutely everywhere. We can believe some of the stuff we're getting sent in.
Yeah, and
he was the first of his kind to do it, and amazingly had such a huge following and huge response from day one.
Yeah, and I think that really inspired us to, like, for this, like, for our own exhibition. We were like, we want to do something with our collective, like, big offline space.
Exactly, getting stuff off the computer onto print. And that's why he did it with just photocopies, just to make it so accessible, so cheap, everyone can do it, anyone can be involved. Mm-hmm. Also the fact that people could buy prints and literally take them straight off the wall, roll them up and take them home with them. And that was a really, really nice thing to be able to do.
Yeah, and so his little collective is like one idea of like what a collective can be. And so obviously we have our little collective, which is Eleni and I, and it's kind of a different environment, whereas it's not just absolutely everyone who can, so obviously everyone can submit to us, but obviously we have to be female, and so that's like our little niche. Whereas there are different types of collective as well. So we've got Photocopy Club, we've got ours, and then there's also things where it's more like an agency type of environment. So a collective could be about 10 artists who create work together or themselves, and then they promote it through their collective. So
and they'll work through the collective as well, so if anyone wanted to hire them, for example, they'd do it through this. This is something called Adorus.
Adorus, yeah. Which is, I think, it's a selection of about 20 artists who work together, and it's more like an agency feel. So we didn't want to do something like this. We wanted to make sure it was a lot more available to absolutely everyone. So kind of make a mixture between this sort of thing and Photocopy Club. And I think that's really, really important, and if anyone was wanting to set a collective, I think that's something you really have to bear in mind. So like, whether you want to have this quite like a niche thing, or like with certain artists, or something more like Ellie and I do, and slightly more open, but you stick to a certain aesthetic, like we obviously do female things or something with Photocopy Club, but absolutely. Yes. So I think that running a collective is really, really great. It's a really good thing to do, but you really need to figure out what your niche is.
Excuse me, what's your name of your blog?
Peachy and Keen.
Peachy and Keen.
Peachy and Keen.
There's a card there.
Thank you.
So that's basically all we had to say about what we've been doing, and I think we just want to say a few words about what we see ourselves doing in the future, really.
Yeah.
Being online and doing what we've done so far and seeing the reaction it's had, I think we really want to take it further. We want to make something that is physical, and I think the direction we want to go with that is a magazine. Sort of made by girls, for girls, but also but it's for boys as well. It's not just for girls, it's about the work. It's not about who they are, who they've worked with, you know, it doesn't matter what your name is or who knows who you are, whatever. It's just about the work, and that's the only sort of guideline we have for it. We also want to do more with our exhibitions. We really hope to be able to eventually get some kind of funding or make some kind of money somehow so that we can do more of the work, because at the moment, I mean, everything comes out of our own pocket, and it's just something that we do out of sort of the passion for the idea. But yeah, we want to get a bit of money somehow, hopefully, and do bigger things with our exhibitions, have better quality prints, and, you know, be able to have different kinds of artists involved. We want to work with people to do installation and physical 3D work within our exhibitions. Being able to hire a place for more than a weekend, you'd be amazed how much it costs. So that's something that we would love to do, and also to take it across the country and maybe global one day.
I also think that something really important to us is, obviously we've spoken a lot about taking photography offline, but also as a means of empowering people. We want to be able to bring our collective to things like schools and different community centres and stuff like that, and be able to talk to people about what we do and how we did it, and being able to inspire other people to do something like that, and see what what you can do with photography. So I know lots of people they're kind of stuck, maybe if they're from a small town, not somewhere like London, but there's lots of different possibilities.
It's difficult to get your work out there, to get it seen, and just want to show people that it is possible, and hopefully give some people some confidence in that. And obviously, working with young women is something that we're really passionate about, showing them that you can be you can just be yourself. You don't have to be like anyone else to be accepted in an artistic way or in a creative way.
And I think what our next project is going to be is something that really, really encompasses that about women and the empowerment of women and what we're actually doing. So our next exhibition, which should be at the end of this year, will be in London. We're actually doing a calendar, so like a pin-up calendar. We've got 7 artists.
Got 6 artists.
7 artists.
6. Oh yeah, including us. What about that? So basically, it's a calendar. When you think of a nude calendar, you think greasy, horrible porno in a builder's garage, whatever. We just wanted to do something away from that a little bit, something that can actually be for everyone, that a girl could hang up in her room and think this is just a beautiful image of a woman and I'm going to have it on my wall.
A celebration of the female body,
exactly,
photographed by women for everybody. So it's not for a male gaze, it's for absolutely everybody.
And the emphasis is on the word all. We have got all types of models involved in this. Curvy girls, skinny girls, hairy girls, bald girls, girls with tattoos, all types of models we want in here. We don't, it's very, very difficult for women sort of at a young age looking at what you see in the fashion industry. There's a very specific norm of how you should look and what is attractive and what is beautiful, and I just think it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Of course there are people that do look like that, and that's fine, and they are beautiful, but people look different as well, and a lot of young women think that it is so important to look that certain way, and that's the only way you're going to get accepted by society. So we just want to do a little something just to show, everyone is beautiful and we accept everyone, and we just want to show that off, basically.
Yeah.
So we'll have the calendar, we'll do an exhibition of all the images from the calendar and a bit more probably, and have the calendar on sale and hopefully have it all done before the new year, before Christmas. So that's what we're doing next. So
that's we hopefully see you up in London.
See you next
time.
So if anyone's got any questions they want to ask, we'd be happy to answer anything. But that is it. That's a wrap.
So when is this thing in London?
We haven't set a date yet,
but
it will be before Christmas, so we can sell these as Christmas presents. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it. We've never done anything like this before, so we're a little bit I don't really know what to say. But it's really nice to actually explain ourselves and talk to people about it.
So has anyone got any questions at all?
No questions? This must be what teachers feel like.
How old are you both?
I'm 23.
I'm 20.
Yeah.
So we started this 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Which was really fun, just when we were doing our foundation. So that's really good.
Cool.
I've got a question. Is this this photo here? Is that the actual kind of ad that you're going to be putting out? Because that could be a bit misleading. Saying it says calling all girls, but that's the image that you're
This is just a casting call. This is all we've kind of got at the moment.
So we're looking for models with this.
This is just saying we're looking for models. I mean, I know you're saying that we were talking about we want all kinds of girls, but I mean, you know, this isn't necessarily the kind of norm of model girl that you see. Like, you can't really see the picture very well, but she's pretty, like...
But yeah, I was thinking as well, because it's kind of the pose as well. It's
Quite
like,
point forward.
yeah.
But, I mean, that's the way you might see it. It's not taken in that way, and it's not taken for that audience. It really is just... I mean, personally, I think a beautiful image of a naked woman in... I don't really see anything pornographic in that, personally. But yeah, that's...
Open to interpretation.
Of course it is.
And there's nothing wrong with being a sexual...
Exactly, there's nothing wrong with
being
looking sexual, and that's something that we want to celebrate in the calendar. It's supposed to be sexual, it's supposed to be sexy and attractive, just not in the traditional kind of way.
So thanks.
Anyone else want to add anything to that? Cool, alright, well if you want to keep having a look around,
Yeah, well,
you know, we're going to be around for the rest of the day if you want to come and talk to us about anything, so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. I really want some of these.
You can take one if you want. Yeah.
Take it to